Hello and welcome. Welcome. My name is Nilza Gomez, born and raised in Rotterdam, the Netherlands, 45 years old. And even though I have a very full and chaotic life, dealing with a lot of stress right now, I'm doing something I usually do not do, and that is respond to the news. I have been shocked to my core just to see what's going on in the world. How does one even pronounce LGBTQ plus love is love and hashtag Fatima in one sentence these days? How are we supporting drag queens / pedophiles in schools and teaching young children how to masturbate? When sex is not a subject for children to begin with. It's like when you go to make a cake, you make the batter, then you put it in the oven, and then once the cake is finished and has risen to its full potential, but everybody's just eating the batter right out of the bowl. And this meddling with our children, with the children, has got to stop. This, I don't know where mankind is getting their ideas from. I myself have been a victim of sexual abuse at a very young age from very familiar faces. And I still can't grasp what does it take for man to even reach that thought, that forbidden fruit, that the things, the little people, the children that are most to be honored and revered and protected, are being butchered by grown men. Since when is there a lack of women that you need to throw yourself onto little children, babies? Fatima was just a baby. I just finished reading her report, court report. I just can't. This patriarchal system, what is it doing actually? You men leading us in where actually? For the past 45 years, as long as I have been alive, why don't you protect us? Why do you prey on us? What's wrong with you? Literally, what's wrong with you? What's lacking in your manhood? What's lacking in your brain, in your sense of values and sensibility and just plain being just what's lacking? As men, you can do whatever you want to do and go to any porn website you want to, and nobody will judge you. You can date as many women as you want to, nobody will judge you. Can we stick to age appropriate? Looking at the world, people from modern day are asking for reparations because of slavery. What about the children that are still working in the mines, working for our energy, working for our mobile phones, digging out diamonds and gold? And what about the children that are being trafficked? What about their reparations? In the Bible and in the Quran, I read about how we should take care of widows and children and respect our women and mothers. But it's like there's this community of men that on one hand tries to lead us and control us and be at the top of us, not even giving us women and children space to breathe, but now you want to come in and rape the children to death while they're working as slaves on a cold floor? What about their reparations? What about the discrimination in that? Of course, it's not fun to pay taxes all the time, but that's all grown people do these days, is complain about the fact that they have to pay taxes. But what about the kids? And what I don't understand, we have so-called a population problem, that we don't have enough population. What do you mean? We're killing them ourselves and not breathing enough. But what do you expect? There's poison in our foods, poison in our medicine. It doesn't matter where you go, it's poison. Or the abortion clinics. What happened to it's? I can't. There's so much going on in this world that should totally not be in this world, and I just don't understand why people don't just wake up. I don't understand why schools need to teach us Dutch and English and calculations and math, and you don't get to study whatever it is that you want to study. Because why do we have all these universities for? For what? Why aren't we being being taught the law when we go to school? Why aren't we being taught about real home economics and everything that you should be aware of once you move in and try and start your own family? Why aren't our teachers telling us about that? Why aren't we all, when in school, going out to gardens and planting our own potatoes and tomatoes and bananas or whatever? Why are we all just going to school to sit in a cubicle or work at the office for somebody else? Why aren't we being challenged to chase our dreams? Why aren't we being allowed to pick and choose the lessons that we find interesting enough to really study? No, you have to study everything that they think that should fit in everybody's curriculum, and if you have a dream, you can forget about it because you're being trained to work for a boss. That's training children in school to cultivate this slave mentality. So now we don't even have a creative community as to where everybody can build on their own craft on the basis of whatever their passion is: painting, writing, sewing clothes, building houses, or making little figurines, making clay pots, whatever. I thought the world used to be like that everybody could just do whatever they were chosen to do, that they were good at. Now everything's according to a list or according to the vacancies of jobs. That's how you're supposed to plan your life. And according to whatever other people thought how stupid or how smart you were, they get to decide to what school you can go to and begin or end your whole entire career with that. Why do you have to why don't we go to school and learn how to cook? The basics, which actually is alchemy. If you're in the kitchen and you're able to bring things together, this is an iced latte I made at home with ice cubes and lactose-free milk, and added caramel syrup, put a straw in. It's ice cold. I made this myself. I bought the ingredients, and this is alchemy. Why aren't we being taught this in school? There's a certain level of schooling that you get where you're able to work in horeca, as we call it. Why? There's not a single schooling education that's programmed on how to find a good wife, how to find a good husband, and raise a healthy, loving family. How to garner wealth, how to work your own land, how to manage your own property. You have to be dependent on everything. Just go to school and teach and learn whatever it is curriculum that we give you, and don't worry about the rest. You just get your certificates, and then when we say go, you go. We never get to go when we want to go. I think that when it comes to education, we should look at it in a very different way, because I've spent my whole entire life basically as a hobby studying history. And of course, I was taught history in school too. But later on, the more and more I studied outside of school, in my own time at home, the more I learned and the more I studied, the more I found out that everything that they taught me in school about my personal history was a lie. And then there I was. I'm like, okay, so my parents are paying for this education, or paid for my education, the basics. And then once I'm a grown up and I'm in my own house and I'm paying for my internet bill and everything, and I'm buying my own books and I'm researching, I find that the whole curriculum I was taught as a child was a lie. And it's basically useless, because if I would repeat the things I learned during, let's say, kindergarten and high school, I would be the laughing stock of the city. I'm like, what? And now, I'm being 45 years old. It's almost. Let me change my voice because I'm hurting myself with that one. It's almost unfathomable how many lies people can tell, and how many lies can be upheld for so long, and nobody. And the people that do figure out, later you read in, that person died in a strange accident. You know? And the more I learn, the more pity actually I have on mankind. Because, not to say I may be in a somewhat fortunate position as a black woman, because I was born and raised in Rotterdam, where and in a family that did not uphold any strict beliefs. They were strict, but not religiously. For me to have an free enough environment, I won't say safe, but free enough for me to dibble and dabble and figure out what life was, and observe people and observe the world, and try and grasp onto as much knowledge as I could. I can safely say that still today, even after all the things I uncovered and rediscovered and had to relearn, I still find myself lacking in not knowing everything, and that's okay. I just keep studying. Just never stop. Because the truth, let me say that differently. The truth always comes out in time. But since nobody knows when the time will come, for the time being, keep up with your wisdom. That's what I'll say. And there's no harm in training the brain and training your mind and having a better grasp of what the world should be like, or feel like, at least in your own personal reality. I have seen so many awesome history teachers online that literally taught me for free. Because just click on a documentary, go and read that article that they mentioned, go and read that book. You can find it on Scribe or in the libraries or in the archives online. You can find every single thing. And then check everything out for yourself. And that's the beauty of it. It's always good to have somebody have the whole puzzle laid out on the table, and like, oh, I found this and discovered that this was false and that was false and this piece is supposed to be here. But it's always good to always, just give it a second look for yourself. Not just alone just to always just agree with whatever somebody else says, because that would make you a nitwit. Always check out information, data, and history for yourself, because things can be surprising. I myself have been fooled on many occasions, and that's why I'm glad I'm always looking into the negative, the positive, and the third unknown, because how the saying goes, when two are fighting, there's the third one always walks away with the prize. Something like that. Well, that's how they say it in Dutch. The governments. I'm glad they did that coup in Guinea-Bissau. That new president. That there is a mountain full of wishes come true. I have a good feeling about him, and he's cute though. I'm 10 years his senior, but he's cute. I'm elated to say that Africa is waking up, that they're finally able to throw away that old shoe, because they have new shoes a long time ago, but they just forgot to wear it, I think. Wear them. I like the way they're handling the France situation, because I don't like to mention names, but there's some presidents out there, these you just wanna, so ooh, and it's enough is enough. I mean, now we have like literally Maui on fire. Every place, everywhere is suddenly on fire, and they're fighting the fire with fire. Literally, they're fighting fire with fire in France. It's amazing how they do that. I thought you would fight fire with water, but don't ask me. It's terrible. But I see a lot of good things happening. I see a lot of bad people going down. A lot of people being exposed. A lot of exposure. I wouldn't want to be them. I couldn't want to be them. Ever. It would be an impossibility. I just wish people would let people go. Why do the rich have to just be rich? Be rich and leave it at that. Why do you have to control everything? Why? Just leave the people be. Let the children be. Let the children be. Leave the children alone. The world is chaotic enough as is, as a grown-up that's still trying to escape her youth. Leave the children alone. I'm gonna leave it at that. Just leave the children alone and be mindful how you came into this earth and why you are here. And that at the end of your mission, you will have to go and debrief somebody somewhere. So I will take this time out to say and warn people. when the day of debriefing comes, who do you think you're going to end up with? Who's going to be on the other side looking back at you like, really? You didn't see this coming? Yeah, I wonder too. Y'all have a nice day. I'm gonna light some candles for some peace and prosperity. White ones. For Fatima.